What is up, home workout and bodyweight exercise fans? In today's video of Homemade Muscle, we'll be talking about the power of lists, how you can use it for your fitness goals, but also for your life in general, to be more productive, more efficient, to decrease your stress levels and all that. So your brain actually, basically deals with so much information on a daily basis that you're constantly, even if you're not aware of it, you're constantly scanning for patterns, for shapes, for potential predators, for potential dangers. And even though we're pretty good at it, because of the information overload that has suddenly sprung from ever since the internet got invented, because there's so much more information, this is also creating some detrimental issues to us. Now, we are not equipped to deal with so much information. If you look at it in a evolutionary timeline, the internet just came into our lives. The previous generation didn't even have it, so we're not really equipped to deal with so much information. So what can you do? Well, one of the most helpful things are lists. So if you think about it, before knowing how to write, before having smartphones to keep notifications, what was the thing we used? We always relied on our head, on our mind. From an evolutionary aspect, we evolved to basically when we had something important to think about and we didn't have to, we had to remember it, it would just loop, come back, and maybe we'd put it aside to do something else at that moment, so that thought would just go in a loop and come back. And if you think about it, we have so many things nowadays spinning around our heads that it's pretty difficult not to go a little bit crazy, right? So I'm using lists right now for the script. I'm using lists for a ton of things just to be organized in my life. And how can lists help you? Well, they will help you empty your RAM, if you want to use a computer term, on a daily basis. So things that don't have to keep space in your head, that you keep on using every day, can be just written down in lists, and that way you'll have more clarity, you'll have more focus. So there are two kinds of lists that are extremely important. Number one, weekly lists. Number two, daily lists. So let's get started with weekly lists. What are these? These are things that you do on a weekly basis. They can be things such as your workouts. They can be things such as your grocery list. They can be things such as if you clean your house once a week, which I recommend, you can have a list of all the things you're going to do on that day. These are pretty handy lists you can use to deload some and empty some memory storage in your head and be more relaxed, have less stress, less anxiety. And I know some of you right now are thinking that you don't really need that, maybe, but here's an example on how this affects your life. Let's take, for example, working out. There are days that you are just so mentally tired and drained that when time comes to work out and you have to take that first step, that first action to get started with your workout, it feels really intimidating. You feel overwhelmed. You're not sure how to start. Sometimes this is even subconscious. You don't even know that you're doing it. And you have to, even if you've done your workout a million of times, some days you just feel that you don't know the exact sequence of exercises, of the warm-up, of everything. And because all this happens, because there's so much more mental friction, you end up some days skipping your workout, some days just getting even more emotionally charged and stressed and all that. So by having a list, what I use is index cards. I recommend these for your weekly tasks. It's paper, it's more thick paper. It has some space here for a title and more lines underneath. So these are pretty handy, a little bit more solid, more durable. So I like these. You can find them pretty easy everywhere if you just do a Google search. And So let's get started, by choosing, for example, a weekly list for your workouts. How can this look? How can this help you? Well, this is my list, and as you can see here, number one in this list is MP3 battery. And by that I mean that I have to remember before I get started with my workout to see if there's battery in my MP3 player, because I like to train with music, put loud music in my headphones so I don't disturb the neighbors, and when you are training and your MP3 player dies in the middle of the workout, that can be pretty annoying. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have experienced this, and it's an instant mood killer. Maybe you're either gonna continue your workout like feeling really less motivated, or sometimes maybe you'll just say, to hell with this. So moving on, number two is journal prep. So by this I mean, I'll have my workout written down, the sequence of exercises and all that. So this can be like a separate list that I have printed. If I'm following a program that's pre-made, for example, my superhero home workout, I'll just have that printed out for a trainee of mine. Or if if I'm just doing a random workout that day, it's going to be I'm just going to sit down and write the exercises I want to do, so I'm more organized, I don't forget anything. Number three in this list is uniform. By that I mean the clothes I'm going to wear, because a lot of times, when I train at home, at least I like to start with a sweater so I'm more warm. As I warm up, take it off, then maybe use like a headband for my headphones to keep them tight. So having your clothes all ready, instead of like in the middle of the workout or after your warm up having to go search for stuff, and that gets you out of your flow, your workout flow, that's not nice. So that's also another thing you might consider. Everybody's list obviously will be a little bit different, just giving you ideas. The fourth element in this list is equipment preparation. So I have three items here: stopwatch, how many times you want to time your resting periods when you're training and you just can't find your watch. I don't like wearing stuff, so I always take my watch off. So if you're like me, you'll be spinning around your house trying to find your watch, and that's also annoying for the same reasons we said before. I have my bands here, my body elastic bands, because I have a lot of those. They can get mixed up, so I like to have them take them out and have them ready for my workout. And lastly, I have water. Always great to have some water when you're working out around you. Number five is airplane mode, and working out for me is a very sacred time of the day. I don't want to be annoyed, I just want to do my thing, and decompress. So I put my phone on airplane mode. If you have some people that are very important to you that you don't want to lose touch with even when you're working out, in case of an emergency, you can switch that in your settings in your phone, in most phones at least. So that's my list. Everybody's list can be a little bit different for your workouts, for example. On the back, I also have my warm-up. Even though I know I've done this warm-up 1,000 times, some days I'm just so tired and so cluttered in my head, it just helps me, to have it spelled out, to use this sort of like an emotional crutch, just do the thing and not think, just do the workout and don't try to remember things. For me, it helps a lot, and definitely for a lot of you, you'll see if you try it, it's gonna be very helpful as well. Our daily morning list, I'll try to talk about that next week, since this is like a 10-minute video, so let's keep it a little bit shorter. If you like this video today, let me know. Leave some comments below, share it, like it and all that, whatever else you can do, I don't know. And if there's a good response, if there's a positive response, I'll definitely do the daily morning list next week. That was all. I hope you liked today's videos, and I'll next time. Keep on training.